Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today it's February 5th, 2023. Howard, you look slim.
It's green. I
What's
look
your
good in
diet?
green. I don't know what to say. I've been working out and my back is out. I went skiing and I don't know. I got fucking had to wipe out that I'm not healing well from. It wasn't even like a. Do you ski? No way you ski.
I don't, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll try it.
I think I may be my last skiing. I am so sore I can barely sit. Um, but yeah, I've been biking. I feel pretty good. Got to work on my diet this year. I got Perlman trying to get me on an eggs diet, which just sounds pretty disgusting. Are you doing
Sounds expensive.
circuits? Are you doing F45 or no?
I'm doing various things, not just F45. I wanted to do more variety this year. So I'm just doing a lot of core work, some Pilates, some weights, some cardio, and I see better results than just F45. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of stability and core stuff myself, but my age, I don't know. So, all right, catch me up. There's a lot of stuff working. It's fun. I mean, my last 2 weeks I've been saying constructive, and now I think it would be constructive if things pull back. A lot of stuff was heating up.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, year to date, there's been a very major rotation into tech out of the so-called alt economy sectors. Like everything that worked last year has been pulling back this year. Like we talked about it, defense, and industrials and stuff like this. They've at least not pulling back, but underperforming, while tech has been wildly outperforming software, especially semiconductors. Their SMH is up 22% year to date. So very big push into tech as the market
Yeah.
is expecting that the Fed is probably almost done raising
Yeah.
rates, and it didn't cause a recession with all
Yeah.
those quick raising so far.
Yeah.
So we had an FOMC meeting last week. The Fed is finally admitting that inflation is slowing down. For the
Yeah.
first time, they actually said it. And the market was super happy, and everything went up after that press conference.
Yeah.
But you're right. Maybe we're a little bit extended short term.
Well, a lot
So
of shit stocks are going up. So, um, I mean, the Trump SPAC has died, so that's, at least something. But like, the Bed Bath and Beyonds, the AMCs, are still like
everything
everybody
is trending,
rushes
but
back.
there's some new names. Like right now, AI is all the rage. So anything that
Yeah.
is .ai,
So are there some like, oh, so just because the name's AI, that's class.
exactly. So anything that
Yeah.
is like the
Wow.
AI, the BB AI. Now we're waiting for the CC and the DD and
I tell you what, it
everything else.
helps to just play that game. I've just been long Google, and I sold my Facebook to it, but I've been long Google as my plan. It hasn't really done anything. Little bump off
It
80s.
bounced with the rest of
Yeah,
tech, obviously highly
but
correlated.
I'm keeping it simple around AI. I'm super, super. The more work I do, yeah, Microsoft. It's you know, as much as I'm not a user of it, everybody that I know is using it and having fun with it. So, it is real.
It's a hot
The tech
topic.
guys love
Yeah.
it. The regular Joe loves farting around in the message box. They're keeping Chat GPT open to write speeches and like play with things, and that's fun. Like, it's good for semiconductors because it's a machine-driven
Yeah, exactly. Nvidia.
business,
Yeah.
and that's why But we're seeing the stocks that look interesting to me are like the same ones I've talked about. Axon, which is
Yeah.
Taser,
Setting
hit
up.
an
Yeah.
all-time high. Mobileye is super interesting on
Yeah.
the
Anything car automation is breaking out or setting up. There
yeah.
are a lot
So
of
there's some
smaller
breakouts.
players. Yeah. Yeah.
There's some breakouts actually in tech.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, we have to point out that so far
I
the
mean, if you
market.
could go public last year and be at an all-time high, you got to put. I guess I have to put Mobileye on my watch list now just to follow it because
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
real.
remember that they used to be a public company, and then Intel bought them, and
Oh,
and
okay.
then that's like a second IPO, basically, 10
Yeah, I
years
have to
later.
just read up on it.
Yeah. But
But
yeah,
I
hot
mean,
topic, one of the hot topics alongside AI. So I wanted to touch upon the subject that so far this earnings season, the market reaction has been extremely positive to any earnings report. Like
yeah,
you have something like Netflix. I mean, their earnings are down 90%, sales up only 2%, but they said our subscribers are up more than expected, and then the stock just takes off. You
yeah.
have
It's still not filled the gap, right? So
we're
it's
talking
going to
about
have a
short-term
tough.
market reaction. You have some disaster earnings report like Snapchat and Goldman Sachs and Intel. Like all of them have completely recovered since then. I mean, you don't see such behavior during bear markets. That's what I'm trying to say, that the market reaction has been so overwhelmingly positive that
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to be bearish, at least, right as of right now, until
yeah,
something breaks, like maybe
yeah,
inflation speeds up or unemployment breaks.
yeah.
Um,
No, no, no. I mean, it's
yeah,
constructive. It's a little bit.
look
We're
at
a little bit in
Apple
no man's land.
breaking out. They missed earnings uh, and sales for the first time in a very long time. Many of Microsoft guided down, and all of them went up. So
Yeah, yeah, that's a big move for Apple.
it's when you have a stock going up on bad news, that's a bottoming market behavior. Like,
Yeah, I
so
think tech, barring some kind of like really long recession, we're slow to react. They've cut the jobs.
exactly, they're becoming all of them
They've
more
got
efficient. Yeah,
room. They have great balance sheets, most tech. And while they're overvalued, they're not. There's just so much money on the sidelines playing chicken that they just got underowned for the first time in a while. I just don't think they go back to any kind of meaningful run. So I think Brian Shannon talked about the VWAP. I mean, you really came up quickly on the 200-day and the VWAP, but it's good to be back above the 200 days. So now what you want to see is on any pullback.
just hold it. Yeah,
Yeah, you want to see like things got crazy. Coinbase went in almost 90. I mean, we tripled. I wouldn't be surprised to see that back in the 60s or 50s.
I mean, home builders, however, new 52-week highs, like so many of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Redfin
But
has
again,
tripled. So.
if the market doesn't, jobs are tight, and that's scary. And there's not a lot of room for error if all these stocks run up so quickly that you're still Zillow's trading at 50 times next year's earnings in a 5% interest rate environment. So you've got to really now think through, unless you think rates are going back to zero, that it's not the same type of market as what you saw the last 13 years. So that's all I would caution. It's very constructive action, but at the same time, tech stocks are up because the dollar got lambasted and rates kind of stalled, and the Fed is kind of hinting that they want to stop raising. So all the things that make for a good bottom are in place, but the economy is very complicated and things are very expensive still relative to where they were at 0% interest rate. So I don't know. I was a seller last week of some stuff, even taking some losses on stuff from a few years ago, just selling into this. I sold some Coinbase in the high 80s. But we'll see. Robinhood has earnings this week, Wednesday after the close. And I think that'll give you a really good feel for like what retail's doing and what young people are doing. And then, like you said, the home builders are strong, which is, in a high interest rate world or a higher interest rate world, that's interesting. What other sectors look interesting?
I mean, anything semiconductor is really strong. This one, ON, they report earnings tomorrow.
So that's an all-time high. ON, that's interesting.
Let's check. So yeah, all-time high. And if this one goes, maybe.
A couple Arizona companies. You got Taser and ON Semiconductor at all-time highs.
Can follow. So there are more and more setups definitely showing up. in the very short term, as we said, as the US dollar is kind of trying to form up and bounce, maybe we might see some consolidation, maybe sideways consolidation or just pulling back. The thing is that right now, everyone is waiting to buy the dip, which for me means two things. Either that dip will be very, very slight, almost non-existent, so it kind of lock people out and don't let them in, or the dip will be much deeper than expected and it'll shake people out. Because markets tend to just surprise the majority with its moves. So I wouldn't expect something that what everyone else is expecting.
A couple of things that were interesting to me. The January effect is strong, and we finished January strong. And then a couple other things on momentum. The number of sectors trading above their 200-day moving average was 0 in September. So, that was, a lot of people say the bottom is in around June, July, August, but September we had 0 sectors. Like I said, that was probably a good time to add exposure. The good news is now we're at 10 sectors back above their 200-day moving averages. And as of last week, a few more. And I was reading some case studies that it's generally been good buying opportunities 2-3 years out. So the good news is, or my dog. The good news is generally this kind of strength is a good sign. And so we'll leave it at that. Constructive. I'll keep it short because it's late. Anything else?
I think your dog was saying, Chewy, let's see what's going on. It's
my dog, she never gets tired. If I'm up, she's up.
Yeah.
But I think this week it should be quiet. Is there Robinhood is there other big earnings?
I mean, there's still quite a few earnings. Earnings season is not even halfway through. And there's still many hundreds of companies left to report. And I mean, isn't Disney reporting this week? I'm not sure. Yeah, they are in 3 days. So we said ON tomorrow.
Listen, when things are back above the 200, for a year, things were below so I'm not going to complain. We're back above 200-day moving averages. The slopes aren't great. They're still downward. So you can't just cautiously you can't just crazily get bullish. But historically, when you crash from that far below the 200-day moving average, it's great that we pounded through them. Right. And then you're pounding through them with some growth stocks like Axon and Mobileye. What's this Allegro? So what kind of business?
It's semiconductor providing semis to the car.
Yeah. So this is breaking out of
definitely
the worst market ever for semiconductor. What's the ticker symbol on Allegro? I gotta add that to me.
ALGM, and also the other one that had strong earnings also near all-time highs. Air.
What's Allegro's ticker symbol?
ALGM.
Okay, cool.
Add that. I mean, that's the entire sector kind of.
Amcor, that's another Arizona company.
Yes. Well, you need to create a Arizona ETF, Howard, with all those strong companies.
My own backyard. Is that an all-time high? I remember Amcor's been around for 100 years.
I'm not sure. It seems like it.
That's a big breakout. Okay, that's going on my list. So what do they do? I got to do some work on that.
So what are they doing? Test services.
That's a serious long-term
just like
breakout. So
AEHR, similar business, I guess. So strong industry is another one in the same sector. So yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, there you have it. It looks like because of something related to iPads.
Electric vehicles growth definitely.
Electric vehicles
for the next 5 to 10 years or more. So anything related to it
and machines,
it's benefiting.
Just
anything AI related. So I expect that
related
within a year we'll have at least 10, 20 of those AI companies, probably half of them Chinese, and we'll have a lot more plays.
All right. Well, now we know. And biotech, they were like kind of holding up. So they kind of broken out.
They're trying to break out. There's kind of still underperforming. Still need.
And what about financials quickly?
Financials are holding well, kind of setting up
Holding.
constructively. This
Okay.
looks constructive to me, the
Yep.
XOF. Even Goldman Sachs managed to recover from disastrous
Yep.
earnings. So there's
Well,
nothing
Goldman's
to
was on the
complain.
magazine cover as like Goldman Sachs, and like so, I'm kind of like, it's fun to hate on Goldman, but like I don't know, they're kind of the only shop in town that's going to do banking with J.P. Morgan and Morgan.
Yeah.
And Morgan Stanley looks strong. Interactive Brokers, another one broke out to all-time highs.
Yeah, broke out. Yeah, definitely. But I don't know why Schwab is not doing as well.
Well, I mean, Interactive Brokers is just much more of a software-driven business versus Schwab, which is very much. If Schwab laid off 20,000 people, that would be bullish.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's too many people making
If
too big a
tomorrow
salary.
someone
Whereas
loses,
Interactive Brokers is basically a software company.
Yeah.
No humans. Okay, so people are getting rewarded for not, Schwab announced 50% layoff. The stock would double, I would think, because it's just all profit,
It's possible. Yeah. It seems
And
like definitely any company that's announcing layoffs, their stock is getting rewarded.
well, you can just see Interactive Brokers versus Schwab. Like you can see the headwind base of Schwab, which is people.
Yeah.
That's a good breakout on Interactive Brokers. Great company, small float.
Yeah, all-time highs.
And they went sideways through this like transaction crash, right? Like you think about all the other brokerages and you think about Interactive Brokers, Jesus.
They seem to be the only broker at all-time highs right now.
Yeah, if you're going to be longer financial, I would say it's got to be Interactive Brokers right there. Interesting. Yeah, that's a perfect Ivan setup too. All right, everybody, we shared some ideas. This is way better than last year.
Exactly. There's definitely
more
ideas. All right, Howard. See you next week.
See you, everybody.
Bye.